All right, so good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. So like I said in my earlier message, that if you want to apply for fresh Nigerian passport or you want to renew an existing one, you don't just need a third party, you don't need a middleman. You can do it yourself. All you have to do is to just go to the Nigerian immigration website. And as you can see, this is the website. https://passport.immigration.gov.ng. So that's all you need to do. So I'll copy this particular link. So copy the link. Once you copy the link, you go to the URL. That is your web browser. So once you go to your web browser, you're going to paste it there. So I don't know if you can see my screen, but let me quickly show you so that you are there. Okay, so as you can see, I am on the page passport.immigration.gov.ng. So the moment you are here, you can see domestic passport application portal, Nigerian Immigration Service, home track application. So this is actually the place you go. So depending on what you want to do, you can go to click start a new application. Then you go straight and click on start a new application. So the moment you click on start a new application, it will open up this page for you. And looking there, you see you start with the step 1, which is the, passport type. You have applying for fresh passport. The next one is renew/reissue passport. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to apply for a fresh passport, all you need to do is just to simply click on apply for fresh passport. Then you go down and fill all your details. Select the passport type, your age group, then your processing states. You now have to put your states. Any of the states in Nigeria, you select. But like I said, I did my own at the immigration headquarters, Abuja. So if that is what you want to do, you can click on the processing office. You have to choose the office. Then the booklet type, you choose the validity. And the list continue. That's actually for someone that wants to do a fresh passport. Once you finish, you say, I'm not a robot, then you continue so that you can now type in your other details. Then, but I want to just pay attention to the renew because that is the one I talked about earlier. So if you're doing renew, all you need to do is just to click on the second button and you say renew or issue. It will show you the passport type, which is a standard passport. Then the change type. Why are you changing? Maybe because it has expired. In my own case, I would choose expired. Then you are required to put your old passport number. I just want to put a number here, just so that it will allow me to take you through some of the things I'm talking about. So you now select your age group. Maybe you're between 18 years and 59. Then you chose your state. In this case, you chose FCT, right? Okay. Then it will ask for processing office. I will put, of course, in FCT, you have headquarters and Agwagwalada. So in this case, I will select the headquarters. Then the booklet type. So you observe here that when you go to booklet type, you have two options, either 32 pages or 64 pages. So when you are renewing for 32 pages, let's just see what you will show us. So 32 pages, so you see it can only be valid for 5 years. So when you select 5 years, you can see the amount. The price is 25,000 naira. Remember, when you pay, you will have maybe some bank charges, and that will be all. So, but I want to do for 62 pages because that's the one we talked about. Sorry, 64 pages. So when I select 64 pages, right, I have two options. If you want to go for 5 years, let's see the amount. You see the amount for 64 pages for 5 years validity is 35,000 naira. But this is not the one I did. What I did was for 10 years. So when I chose 10 years, let's see what it will show. Also, it shows you 70,000 naira, right? So you click I'm not a robot. Then you can now click on continue. Okay, so it's showing me that the number is not valid, like I choose any number. So, but in your own case, you need to be sure that the number you're putting is the number of your own passport that had expired or about to expire. Just know that if you still have if you're within 6 months to the expiration of your passport, you can start the application. So you don't have to wait until it has expired. So you make sure that you do it on time so that you can get it in good time. So like my own will expire February 2024, and I applied September 28th. So you can now click on continue, right? So now it will give you opportunity to put in your personal details. So you can put in your personal details, your title, Mr., Mrs., or whatever, your surname, you type your surname. Please be very careful to type in correctly, because if you make mistake, you will have an issue. They will delay you, and sometimes you won't even have opportunity to make the corrections once you click on pay. So you just have to be very careful. Then you put your first name. As you can see, they are all asterisk red, meaning they are all required field. You must fill in all those details that are required. Then you come to your date of birth, you put the date, the month, you select the month, then you type the year. Okay, so you now go down, you now select your, for the purpose of this exercise, I would just want to put just details, So let me say Mrs. Eka, for example, just for the purpose of this, and I will say Nelly. Then I will leave out my middle name. Just remember again, I'm doing it for the purpose of this training so that you can understand exactly how to do your own. So I will select September. Maybe I was born in 1990. Okay, so I'll put it 1990, right? Then I'm a female. I have put it my marital status. I'm married. Then I said occupation. You can put your occupation. Maybe I say I'm a civil servant. But of course, in your own case, you have to put what you are. So for those that are married, if you have your middle name, you can now put your own middle name as well. Then this is also a compulsory field. This is the 11 name number. So you make sure that you put this number as well. Otherwise, your phone will not be processed. So you can quickly put in the number, but the number I'm putting it just for the purpose of this exercise. So now you also put your email. Assuming you have your email, you can also put your email to say Eka20, just for the purpose of this email. All these things are not like my real details, but I'm just trying to just show us how you can do that, right? So now, assuming this is my email, so I will now go to click on continue. Sorry, I forgot to put my place of birth. So let me say my place of birth is Abuja. I will just continue. So you can see, so it will now show you all the contact details where you can put your own contact detail, your time. Maybe I'll show you AMAC, for example. This is just for the purpose of this, but again, put all your details when you're doing your own. Just be sure you put the correct details. I will do SET. I can do my contact phone number. I can just put my number. If this is my number, I can put my number here, right? Then your own address, I can put plot 2020 20 Warimpa. But of course, in your own case, you need to just be sure that you're putting in the correct number. So I put that detail. The local government I'm using here is AMAC, that's Municipal Area Council. Then your town. Okay, in this case, I'm using Warimpa, so I'm going to use Warimpa for this, right? Then I don't really bother about the postal code because it's not a compulsory detail. So they're asking me if my current address in Nigeria is the same as the one I put as my permanent. In your case, if it's the same, you just click the same. So you're not required to put this other one. But if it's not the same, you are not expected, excuse me, to put the new one. So once I have finished filling my forms and I'm sure that everything is correct, I will just click on continue, right? So the moment you click on continue, I just want to take us to the point where you are expected to pay, right? So it will also ask you about your next of kin information. So you can put your own next of kin information, whether and the relationship. So let me say Mr. Okay, for relationship, he's my husband. I will say he's my husband. Then address, I can still put those address I put before, or you can change as the case may be to suit your own specific address, right? Okay, so the state, I'm using my Abuja address, so I'm going to do FCT, then LGA. I'm going to do area municipal council, right? So the town again is Warimpa. Okay. So your own contact phone number, you can also put your own next of kin phone number. All right. So I'll just put the number here too. Then you can now continue. Beautiful. So here now you can see that I have filled all my forms. You can see you have a reference number, your application number, application date, and all the details, right? You can see it's a standard passport type. The booklet is 64 pages and is going to be valid for 10 years. So that is what I applied. And this is my personal number. But again, I advise you have to pay attention and look at all your details, because once you pay, you won't have opportunity to make corrections. So as you can see, you see the total amount I'm having here is 70,000. And look at what it said. Note, false information may lead to delay in processing this application or outright rejection. So if everything I've checked is correct, I will click here and say, I hereby confirm the information provided is true, accurate, and complete. If I'm fine here, I can now go and click confirm and pay. But if you think you are not ready for the payment, you can keep it and come back and you click on confirm and pay later. Then that means you have to take note of your reference number and application number, because each time you log into this platform, you can go to track and be able to put in your reference number, application number, and complete the process of payment. But assuming I'm ready to pay right away, I will click on confirm and pay. So it will tell you that, know that by pressing OK, your application will be submitted and there will be no correction of data after payment. Are you sure you want to continue? Let's assume I want to continue, then I'll say OK. So right now, you can now see the various options. Okay, so this is the total amount. Like I said, I paid 72,800. So depending on the payment method you want to use, you have different methods. You have like pay fixie, Sana pay stack, and the rest of them. But I think I use what I used was pay stack. So when I pay stack, you can see you have 72,800. That was actually all I paid. So you can click on pay. But again, this is just for the purpose of showing us how to do it. So I don't have to pay. So once you click on pay, immediately you just do click on pay and you put in your payment details, your bank, your card details if you're using a card. The moment you finish, it will open up another page that will allow you to choose your appointment. And once you choose your appointment, on that date, you just go to the immigration and put the list of all the things that you are required to come along and go there. And that will be all. So I wish you success and I wish you good luck as you try to do it yourself. Again, it's something you can do yourself. You don't need a third party. You don't need a middleman. All the best of luck. Thank you and bye-bye for now.